Awesome. Thank you, Erica, for the introduction, and thank you everyone for being here this evening. I'm Catherine Sabula, a member of the Bowen Lab, and this evening I'm really excited to share with you our lab is doing work with partnering with patients with rare cancers, creating models from that, and doing our own work on those models, but also sharing it with other researchers. So why are we interested in using cells from cancers and creating models from them? Well, using the tumor directly can actually limit the amount of studies we can do. But if we take that tumor and digest it and create a cell model from it, that can increase the amount of studies and allows us to do more with them. And overall, cancer cell models have become an essential tool in cancer research as they allow us to learn more about cancer biology, find new and different therapeutics, and overall improve patient outcomes. So how does creating a cancer cell model work? Well, first, one's lab or the patient will connect and figure out what they want to do with their cancer. And then from there, those patients will donate part of their sample to a lab. And in the lab, we'll take that sample, digest it, and isolate those cells into a dish and grow it out with nutrient-rich media or other growth supplements and keep growing those cells until we have an established cell line. And from there, we can use that cell model for other screens. Now, our lab focuses on rare and understudied cancers, and with that comes some challenges. The first challenge being that there are limited samples. Either because we're working with rare cancers, there's samples limited donated locally, or because of this bureaucracy set up behind sample collection that can really inhibit the patient from donating their sample for research. So to tackle this first challenge, our lab has been working with Pattern, a patient collaboration provider. While working with institutions can be great, it can limit who you reach out to. And there's this bureaucracy behind, or it could be a long workflow or a long time and long setup of setting a successful workflow between connecting the doctor with the patient to the researchers. So Pattern really now gives this power to the patient to decide if and where they would like their sample to go for research. Oh, sorry about that. And we've been partnering with Pattern for the past several years now. And through this form of patient engagement, we've really been able to allow to take in more rare samples and use them to help create more cell models. And so while we have samples in the lab now, this leads us to our second challenge, where we have to tackle this paradox of, while cancer cells can grow uncontrollably inside of a body, outside in a dish, it's another story. And with the rare and underrepresented cancers we work with, it's not so much cells aren't growing, it's the wrong population of cells that are growing, meaning those healthy cells are outcompeting the tumor cells we want to grow into that cell model. And this is because we don't have that secret formula that grows out those tumor cells, meaning there's no really good recipe or growth factors out there that can help those cancer cells out compete those healthy cells. So to address this challenge, our lab has come up with this high throughput workflow to grow those cells out in multiple media conditions. And to go through this workflow, I'll tell you about one of the samples we work in the lab with are desmoid tumors, which are a rare form of sarcoma. And so we receive a patient sample, we take that sample and digest it into cells, and we plate those cells into a well plate and grow them out in our media matrix. And as you can imagine, those medias are going to have different effects on the cells, some going to increase growth for the tumor and some for the wild type cells. So we can't observe cell growth with our naked eye, so we need to use the help of microscopy, as observed in this image here, but even better observed in the following image. Here we can now observe the successful growth of the tumor cells we grow out in our media matrix from one of the media conditions we used. And now zooming back out, Here we can now appreciate and observe the successful growth based on the abundance of cells and by the successful swirling growth pattern, with each swirl starting from a single cell that has grown out into many. And overall, this image really represents all of the hard work our lab has put into creating a model for this rare cancer, from working with patients and collecting their sample to getting it into our lab, growing it out in our media matrix, and then using microscopy to help observe growth over time. And with that, I would like to thank my lab, the Bowen Lab, for giving me this opportunity to present and all of the mentorship they have provided me. The Pattern team for really connecting us with patients and remembering where all of this work and all of this is helping. And then the CCLF team at the Broad for a lot of this work has originated from, other screening collaborators we work with, and a big thank you to all of the patients who have donated their tissues for our research so far. Thank you.